Welcome to FYI once again, and if it's for the first time, welcome to FYI. My name's Barry ZeVAN, and my guest today is Mick Sterling, who is so well known, so well liked and loved here in the Twin Cities, a native of the Twin Cities in Minnesota, and for those of you watching elsewhere, you should get to know his music. And Mick is not only a musician, but he has also created a fantastic foundation about which we're going to talk. Mick, great to see you.
Nice to be here, Barry. Thanks for having me.
My joy, my pleasure.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. First of all, tell us how long you've been in music, and why and how did you get interested?
Well, I mean, I've always wanted to play. Since I was 5 years old, I used to sing to the Monkees, and Elton John was a huge influence for me, and Springsteen and Van Morrison and James Brown, and so those artists really inspired me. So, it was kind of destined that I was going to sing in some form. So yeah, I've been playing professionally, in clubs and theaters since about 1981. So it's been much longer than I thought.
Now you also have your own band, is that correct?
I did. I had a band for a very long time called Mick Sterling and the Stud Brothers, and it was a big 10-piece band that we ran every Sunday night at Bunkers in Minneapolis for about 17 years, and we played like 200 dates a year for almost 12 years. It was quite amazing. It was it really became, I think, an institution band, like similar to Lamont Cranston or Willie and the Bees or Inside Straight. We were around that long, and I think we had that kind of impact.
Yeah, well, you were part of the culture here. I mean, it was also, in a good way. I've heard from friends who watched you and attended your performances. It was almost a cult following.
Well, it certainly
was a good
was,
cult.
It was a happy cult.
Yeah.
When we started the band, we played on a Sunday night. Now, nobody was playing on a Sunday night. And we went to Bunkers and proposed, we'll play here for 6 weeks for free. Because there's nothing going on. There's nothing to lose. If you just put an ad in the city pages, a little separate ad for us. And if it doesn't work after 6 weeks, there's really no loss. But after about the 6th week, there were about 80 people there, and then within 3 months, it was lines out the door. And what happened is that it became this hospitality industry Saturday night. Hotel workers, bartenders, servers, that Sunday was their Saturday night. So it became this terrible secret that nobody kept. It was great. So it was and the band made an impact for sure. It was quite a thing.
Maybe a silly question or a stupid question, but when you're forming a band, how does that work? Do you hear about musicians who exist, of course, and have a reputation, or do you just seek them out in a different way?
Well, I mean, every band is different. If I'm talking about the beginning of the Stud Brothers, there was a lot of high school friends of mine that started it. But the intent was to not be a full-time band for a lot of the guys. They had day jobs, but the band was clearly getting popular, and we were playing so much that a lot of the original guys decided, I don't want to play that much. I can't. So, but the level of interest in the band attracted different musicians that I was unaware of, but they were certainly aware of us because we were making some money.
Sure.
So the different musicians came in, and at least with that band, it was such a popular band that it was a very good gig to get if you could do it. And and as the band, within the 17 years of the band, we've had people that performed with Prince, with Janet Jackson, with Cher, with Justin Timberlake, with Pharrell. I mean, they played in my band.
Wow.
So it was it wasn't the catalyst to get them there, but the level of musicianship that was in the band was stellar.
Well, it still is. I have only had the privilege to see your performance one time at the de Musique
Yes.
facility in
Great venue.
St. Michael, the world's smallest arena is what they call it.
Terrific place. Yes.
Yeah, wonderful people. And when you did the show I saw, I thought, oh my God, this is, and I'm not being solicitous here, it blew me away.
Yeah.
And I thought, holy moly, because I had heard from friends who had seen you and been a follower of yours for so many years. They said, hey, watch out, you're gonna get blown
very
away.
Kind. I always try and get the best players around me, and the show that you saw at Les Musiques was the last 3 or 4 years I've been producing different tribute shows, but the art of artists that inspired me. So Joe Cocker, Van Morrison, Elton John, Billy Joel, Huey Lewis, Springsteen. I mean, all these these groups that influenced me. But the bands that I create for these shows are very large bands. 11-piece, 12-piece, 15-piece, 19-piece. It's not the most economical thing for me to do, but I want to put myself in the place of somebody seeing the show, and if they like Van Morrison, I know what they want to hear because I'm that person too. So I could do it with a 5-piece band, but that would be no fun. It's better to do it with the way you want to hear it, the way I want to hear it.
That's wonderful. That kind of dovetails. I didn't plan this or anything, but what you've said dovetails kind of into what you have done to the audience. Mick has very kindly taken me under his wing because
it's going to be great.
I singing and acting and even dancing were most of my life, and the only reason I got into weather was because in the Air Force when I joined there were only 2 things open, motor pool and meteorology. And so in my heart of hearts I always wanted to drive the base bus.
Yeah.
But in my other heart I thought, well, I'll take the meteorology courses, and I got my weather training. I never thought it would help me on the outside. So because show business was my life and the competition was so strong, even though I was very blessed to do some pretty big shows in those days, when I got into local broadcasting, it was for a steady paycheck.
Sure.
And
nothing wrong with that.
And my first local television station was in Missoula, Montana.
Beautiful city.
And the boss said, "Do you know anything about the weather?" I said, "Yes, I do."
I know there is weather.
That's right. I feel it every day. But that's funny. But so anyway, but my real passion has been to get back into singing primarily. And I had the blessing to know, I mean, on a very social and personal basis, Robert Goulet, who actually taught me how to sing better through what we call the mask, and you're familiar with the mask, of course. And then there were so many others, Eddie Fisher, and I mean, it just goes on and on. So
it's huge.
Ed Ames. So in the same vein, this show that you've kindly helped me create is going to be my singing tribute songs to these singers and then telling my stories about my times with them and how they really were and the times in those days.
Well, which I think is completely charming.
Oh, thank
you.
I
mean, when I visited your home and we were talking about this, I mean, that is the unique thing that you actually possess. You're not just making these things up. You've actually lived this life. Yeah. And I think that, your impact in the Twin Cities as being a weatherman is so huge.
Well,
I'm sure every day you get recognized wherever you go. Yeah. You really created something, but that's what people know you as.
Right.
So to me, when I was talking to you, we're very similar in the sense of people know me as a singer. They've seen me sing, but they don't know I'm interested in a lot of things that aren't related to music. And it's the same with you.
Yeah.
So I think that's why doing this show, when people get to see you sing, which is going to be great, and then hear you tell these stories, it's just going to open up a whole new side of people knowing you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that's going to be great.
I really, without presumption, I think it's a new chapter beginning in my life.
Great chapter.
Thanks to you, sir.
Oh, it's going to be great. People are going to love it.
Well, thank you. They're also going to love what you have to tell about a charity that you founded. And it's actually how you and I got together.
Yes.
I was invited to a charity event for it. Please tell us what it is and all about it.
Well, you know, it's a charity that I started called the 30 Days Foundation, and it started in 2011. And it really started from a sense of, you know, there were people that I knew and that were in my family at a particular time that were facing things that they didn't expect to happen. Somebody got laid off, somebody got sick, car repair, you know, eviction, you know, just these things that you can't plan for. They just happen. And when that happens, if you can't pay for something, eventually something else will fall because you couldn't pay for that first thing. And I found out that there's really no charity, as simple as that is to come up with. Nobody was really doing that. So I thought that would be an interesting charity to start. How can you stop the momentum of things happening? Make a payment, not to the person, but to the service that needs payment. So if you reached to me and said, you know, the 30 Days Foundation, and you said, they're gonna turn my water off, and it's $214 and some odd cents, and you just didn't have it. And all of the ripple effects that happen when they turn your water off, it's awful. And so if you asked for our help and we had the funds, we write the check to the water company. We don't write it to you. So all of the donations that the 30 Days Foundation does only goes to the service provider. And it's, you know, it's not very glamorous things. It's like, you know, utility bills, back rent, water bills, school supplies, bus pass, grocery card. So, but everybody needs these things.
Oh, yes.
And when one thing falls, another thing falls. So my objective is, with this thing, is to stop the bleeding. Because if you're facing something and you have 20 things on your plate, well, number 14 of the 20 is your XL bill. I can't pay it. And it's not that much money in the grand scheme of things, but you don't have it at that particular time, so it may as well be a huge amount. So if we can help you with that one thing, a lot of times you can catch your breath.
That's wonderful.
Step back, okay, there's 19 other things on my plate, but at least they're not gonna shut my electricity off. That's the unique thing about 30 Days. So we're a Minnesota charity. We only assist families and individuals in the state of Minnesota. Every donation only goes to the service provider. And it's called the 30 Days Foundation because the things that people are asking for our help for, you can't wait for 3 or 4 months to get a grant. You need it now. So we try and do everything. If we say we can help you, our goal is to try and make the payment within 30 days of their initial request.
That's fantastic.
It's a great charity. It is.
And you know, not playing a violin here, but I've been through that in my life.
Everybody has.
And it's terrible.
It is terrible.
It's very debilitating and
it's humbling.
Oh.
And it's embarrassing, the whole thing.
Yeah. And you're saving a lot of people's anxiety through that.
I know that it helps. You know, I know that it helps. I mean, you know, I've told the story of I started it, and this was pre-Facebook. This was MySpace. I put it on MySpace.
Wow.
And a woman messaged and said, she asked for the full amount, which was $1,500 you can ask for. And she itemized what culminated to $1,500. And one of it was a Sprint phone bill for $78.94. So she messaged me, I called Sprint, I called her back. Now this is all within 15 minutes of getting the message. And I said, well, you know, we can't do all of this stuff, we just started, but I saw that your Sprint phone bill needed paid, so I paid that, I hope that helps. And I said it just like that, just a conversation. Well, she started sobbing on the phone. I mean, heavy, I can't understand you sobbing. And when she kind of composed herself, she said, I haven't been able to tell anybody this. I can't tell my family. I can't tell my friends. I'm so humiliated. I can't even pay my cell phone bill. And so when I got off the phone with her, I just thought, this is really something. Because in the grand scheme of things, $78.94 is not that much money, but at that particular time, it was huge. Mm-hmm. And it changed the trajectory of her going this way to kind of back to this way. Okay, now I'm good. I got my phone paid. Let's take care of the other stuff. And that's when I realized that 30 Days Foundation it's a unique animal in the charity world in the city. And we have, well, God, at least 60 or 70 different agencies in the state that reach out to us when they have a client that they've maybe helped, but they need help with something else. You know, every charity has a charter. This is what they do. You know, we do this, and if someone needs something outside of this, they ethically can't help them, even though they probably would like to help them. So when they find that situation, that's when they reach out to the 30 Days Foundation, because our charter is kind of all over the place. You know, if we have the funds, we can help with little things, but you need that.
Now it also involves housing, doesn't it? For 30 days.
It does. I mean, the reason you were at the charity that we did in May, there's a program that I started called Keep the Key, and Keep the Key is a program that from 30 Days, that we will negotiate with landlords to help somebody get a security deposit in, or maybe pay back rent, or maybe help them with their first month rent. So we've done hundreds of those. Well, sometimes enough times we will get a request saying, we're homeless, we found a place to live, but we're like, can you help us with a hotel bill for 2 weeks? We have no place to stay. And we got those requests enough that made me think we should start a program within Keep the Key that it could be for one family to stay in one house for free for up to 3 weeks, as long as they have documentation that they're actually moving to their eventual place. Mm-hmm. So that concept is called a 30 Days house. And we've had a couple of families already do it. It's a house that the 30 Days Foundation rents in Northeast Minneapolis, and the city council gave us their blessing. And so it's a house that it's kind of just a shelter in the storm for a family that, you know, they're almost there. You know, they've gotten out of the homeless shelter, they paid, you know, the first month rent and security deposit for the new place, but they're in that limbo still. And that's when things can start happening. You know, who knows where they get to stay for those 2 or 3 weeks. Plus to pay for a hotel room, even at a reasonable hotel, for 3 weeks you're talking about $1,500 easy. That's a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So if we can save them that amount of money, maybe for the first time, this family leaving a 30 Days house will actually be ahead of the game when they move into their place, because they haven't had to pay for utilities, they haven't had to pay for groceries, they haven't had to pay for rent. That's the objective of it.
What a magnificent foundation.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. We're going to switch gears just briefly here to your music again. You brought a couple CDs. Mm-hmm. Can you describe what they are?
Well, you know, this year's been pretty important for me. I've been, you know, I'm like you. I do a lot of different things, and I'm also a singer-songwriter, and I released a double CD called "And Having Said That," and that is 30 years of my songs that I, you know, not all of my songs, but 30 songs on a double CD that I co-wrote, wrote all the lyrics for, and co-wrote the music part. And some of it is with Mick Sterling and the Stud Brothers, and some of it is with my solo CDs that I did. So I'm really proud of it. It's you know, it's a good body of work. I feel proud of it. I feel like it's a unique piece in the Twin Cities as far as bands that were similar to our band. Mm-hmm. And so it came out in August, and Very proud of it.
Yeah, you brought two.
The other CD is a CD that I do to benefit the 30 Days Foundation. Both of the CDs actually benefit 30 Days. My double CD, all the proceeds are going to 30 Days. And then Bayfront Blues Collectors Club, this is volume 4. It features a bunch of different Bayfront Blues Fest artists that perform at that festival. And my band, Big Walter Smith and the Groove Merchants, are always on there. And it's a great CD, and we'll probably raise $80,000 in the last 4 years.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Just from that sales of that CD.
Great.
And it's interesting, Barry, because both of these CDs, when I tell people about it at my shows, I never tell them what the price is. I just go, it's whatever you want to pay for it. It can be $5, it can be $10, it can be $20. It's all going to the 30 Days Foundation, but I'm going to let you decide. You decide what it's worth. And I guarantee I sell more CDs that way, because people, they don't want to be told what to do. They want to make a decision. And it's helped both of those CDs with that type of philosophy to sell them.
Well, they look into their hearts.
Right.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be more people like you, Mick.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank
That's
you.
true. My pleasure. So back to the music a little bit. As we mentioned, you've kindly taken me under your wing, and we're going to start this, and
Yes.
and hopefully it becomes successful enough.
Can we promote your date, like right now?
Oh, sure. Well, yes, we can. This will air, I think, prior to that date. Okay. Yeah.
It's
yes.
important that everybody watching the show and all the crew people
Okay.
in this building, they need to come and see you.
Okay. And it's November 6th at
Yep.
Crooners in the Dunsmore Room.
Right. Crooners is a great club in Fridley. Used to be the Shorewood, used to be Fridley Crab Shack. This Crooners is one of the premier clubs in town, and this room, this Dunsmore Room, has a gigantic, incredibly beautiful grand piano. So my friend Peter Gerton is going to be your pianist, and I think it's going to be fantastic. And then we're doing a big band, a larger show at Les Musiques Room on November 29th with Bobby Vandell and Joe Elliott and Peter Gerton and Serge Acou as your band. It's a killer band.
I'm very
killer
excited.
band.
Very excited.
Yep.
As I said, it's like a rebirth of. It's
going to be terrific.
It's really interesting too about the Dunsmore Room. I had just read about Larry Dunsmore.
Yeah.
Of course, he and his wife own the facility, but my goodness, his background is phenomenal. He's a British fellow.
Heavy.
And he's played all over the world.
Mary's done a terrific job with that venue. I mean, it's really becoming, it's very respected. And the dinner, the food is great there for dinner, and people can have a nice dinner and watch you play in the Dunsmore with Peter, and it's a lovely experience.
That's right. And I jokingly always say, when I was singing at the State Fair this year at the AFL-CIO, and my backup was a pianist named Ray Birch,
Sure.
who you know Ray from the Ordway, and he was very complimentary to me. But I said, prior to singing, I said, we sadly don't have earplugs and earmuffs to pass out, but stick with me anyway. So I figure in the Dunsmore Room, if there are still 3 people left after the first song, I'll be really happy about that.
Well, people are. It's a beautiful room. I just think it's going to be. I think it's going to be something very, very pleasing for everybody to see you do, and tell these stories and sing these songs, and because you're just so beloved in this city, that I think it's going to be just a great combination.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very humbly appreciative. Yeah, if we have a couple minutes
Sure.
here, if I may, there's something else happening too. We're spinning all the wheels here. Thanks to that charity event at which I was in May, got to reconnect with Louis Anderson.
That was
and
great.
Louis and I were sitting next to each other, and he said, "You know, Barry," he says, "you still have it." He said,
That's right, you do.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you. My wife calls me Peter Pan. You'll
Yeah.
never grow up.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that. But anyway, so he said, I think you should do the weather the way you used to do it, writing all over a map and so forth and so on. So thanks to Louis' idea, we're praying in November, late November, December at the latest, to start on YouTube a show called Barry ZeVAN, the Retro Weatherman, introduced by Louis Anderson. And Louis,
love this
it's be fun.
so much.
Well, Lord willing, if we get enough subscriptions,
Yeah.
I hope to donate a lot to the
thank
30
you.
Days Foundation.
That's very kind.
We'll pray for that.
You know, it's very interesting that you never know what is going to connect with people, and that could easily just be a thing that people. So is it going to be like once a week? What is it going to be?
Thanks for asking. It'll be twice a week. We'll
Twice
do it
a week,
on
okay.
Monday evenings at 6:30 live on YouTube, and then Friday evenings at 6:30 live. And if we get enough subscriptions, then it'll be 5 nights a week. But 6:30 Central Time.
It's brilliant.
6:30 Central Time, because then we're not competing with the local weather guys anywhere. And on the Pacific Coast it'll be 4:30, on the East Coast 7:30, and Louis feels that there will be a lot of subscriptions.
You know, people love. Everybody wants to be entertained.
Yeah, and nostalgia too.
And nostalgic, and you have such a bond with people, and you made, you know, not just with celebrities and political figures, but your audience. You know, you made such a bond that I think once they know this is happening, going on YouTube is very simple now, and not like it used to be. It's you know, the media is just so different now.
Well, we're signing up soon, just before it starts, so people will know about it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
This
That's
is
gonna be
actually
great.
the first time we've made this public.
Okay.
So
I love it. I love it.
You're my magic carpet here, magic wand. Again, we still have about 1 minute and 18 seconds with 20 seconds for my shameless plug for my
the
book.
shameless plug.
Yeah, but how do people contribute to the 30 Days Foundation?
They can go on the website. It's the 30, so it's the number 30, the 30-daysfoundation.org. And you can donate on there as well. You can mail a check. Our address is on there. If they know somebody that needs help, we don't take phone calls. We only communicate through email. So just go on the website, very simple, click on the email, and just send an email. There's no application, there's no office you need to go to. Just send an email, and we can take a look at the request and see if we can help in some way. But you know, we always need donations. So if people are interested in donating, going on the website's the simplest way.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Mick.
Thank you, Barry.
You're my honor, my pleasure.
Can't wait to work with you. It's gonna be fun.
You too. Thank you. And some of the stories I'll be telling are actually in my book, but I'll tell even more because it's going to be fun. Book's available on Amazon. Barry ZeVAN, My Life Among the Giants. So please take a look. See you next time.